Hi, I'm Priyanshu Jain, and I'm founder of Agri. So basically, what we do is we are an end-to-end solutions provider in hydroponics and controlled environment agriculture. And we provide solutions right from construction of farms to providing agronomy support and even market access. Today we'll be focusing on only the market aspect of whole of the hydroponics value chain, and where to sell the crops and what are the options available and what is the scope of it. So just for our viewers who are not equipped with actually what hydroponics is, I'll just give a brief. Yeah. So basically, hydroponics is a way of growing vegetables or fruits, horticultural produce in a soil-less method. Here, there is no use of soil, only an inert media is used, which does not contain inherent nutrition elements or basic elements that are required for plants growth, such as cocoa peat, rice stack, etc. And water plays a very essential role in supplying those nutrition to those plants. So this is basically what hydroponics is. AgriJoy actually started in 2020, and we started as an industry aggregator, but now we act as an end-to-end solutions provider. We have worked across 13 plus states in India, right from Jammu and Kashmir to Andaman and Nicobar Islands, from Gujarat to Assam. We have worked across territories and across regions. And our core is the agronomy part that we provide. So it's also, again, it's also end to end, and the services, when we say, we actually mean it, right from construction of farms to even managing the farms remotely or physically, as well as providing the market access, which is actually very crucial in the whole hydroponics value chain to the consumers. So this is basically what we do. Coming on to the market aspect of hydroponically grown vegetables, you must be seeing on your screens that agriculture actually contributes to 16% of India's GDP. And vegetable production has actually been on rise continuously year by year. Just last year, India actually broke all records of previous exports of fruits and vegetables across other countries. And even the domestic demand has increased to even 35% now, probably. This is the data for 2018. And very interestingly, I would like to say that most of the vegetables that we consume today were actually borrowed from other countries and regions. Like, for example, potato, tomatoes, brinjal, carrot, and even bell peppers, for example, and also green peas are not indigenously Indian vegetables. These all were borrowed or brought in from regions like South America, Africa, and even Central Asia. Similarly, the trend goes as lettuces have been adopted quite well these days in Indian societies, and sweet peppers, that is red and yellow capsicums and other varieties of capsicums like snacky peppers, are also on the rise. Coming on to justification of growth of hydroponically grown vegetables market in India. So I'd like to share that if you can see on your screens, this is the data that's available on all public domains, that Zepto actually reported a 3x growth in hydroponic sales, particularly for vegetables like lettuces, spinach, and basil. Similarly, Zomato Hyperpure, when they actually introduced this hydroponic section, they reported an increase of 50% in their vegetable demand. And for Zomato Hyperpure, the vegetables that are actually common, or the crops that are actually commonly demanded, are microgreens and baby spinach. Big Basket, also, if you could just see on your on your apps, you will observe that hydroponics has a special category, and in that category they have reported a growth of more than 2x in sale of produces, like, again, lettuces and bell peppers and tomatoes, etc. So where can you sell your hydroponics produce? So the basic question for any grower is this fundamental question: where do we have to sell our produce and who will buy it. So there are various channels to grow your produce. It includes e-commerce, D2C. You can directly sell to consumers. You can sell to B2B channels, even APMCs or mandis, as we say. Horeca is hotels, restaurants, and cafes, and also exports. Exports come at a later stage when you have a good chunk of land available with you or good chunk of farming available with you. E-commerce is another one such option which is actually quite viable, but it will also demand you to ensure you have a steady supply chain. If at all you break the supply chain to the customers that you are providing to, for example, you are providing your produce to Zepto or Big Basket, if you are not able to meet their requirements on any particular day, they'll simply blacklist you. So my suggestion would be to associate with them only when you have a steady supply of fruits and vegetables that you are going to supply to them. D2C is a very good market segment wherein you can actually reap very good profits. I have seen my clients selling lettuces and other herbs and vegetables at more than 1800 rupees per kg. And this I'm talking about only D2C. And when 1800 rupees per kg does not mean they are selling 1 kg, they are selling in chunks, like for example, lettuce head for so and so rupees, like 100 grams lettuce head at 120 rupees per kg, right? Or 180 rupees per kg, so per head. So these are the general rates which actually help them achieve very good profits. Coming on to B2B channels, there are many B2B channels that you can cater to, and there are B2B2B channels also that are available. So the supply chain actually starts from mandis or APMCs. These are the most convenient sources, but should be avoided. The reason they should be avoided is because they do not provide at many times they do not provide a very good rate. Although in niche markets, like for example, Mysore or Dehradun or Guwahati, regions like these, sometimes APMCs do provide a good viable prices to the growers, but not many times. So one should not be reliable to them. They could be your worst case scenario option, but they should not be very reliable. You can always supply to, so the best option according to me is to supply to people who supply to Horeca. So there are particular vendors who have their whole logistic supply chain for the city figured out. And all you have to do is go approach them and supply to them. This is the most convenient way. You will get a steady demand. You will get no hassle of logistics most of the times, and it will be taken care by them only. And you will also get better prices. But again, if or catering to supply chain part, you can always go to Horeca. Horeca also acts as your B2C client, but they are largely covered under B2B only. So what benefit you will get from them is again a good demand and very good prices. And you can also charge a premium relative to D2C prices with Horeca clients up until they respect and value the products that you are offering. It should never be compared to what you are getting from mandi or soil grown vegetables. Like for example, there are very premium hotels and resorts which you can cater to. You can become their annual vendors, and you can fill in their tender forms, and you can quote competitive prices. And if you are a grower, you will always have the benefit to beat the market prices because you are supplying directly to them, and they'll actually value your product, and hence you can have a very good client customer relation built with them, client vendor. So coming on to exports part, so it's always reserved for people who have big chunk of land or big chunk of farms available with them. So the ideal case scenario is you should have at least 5 to 6 acres of hydroponic farm. Then only you should aim for exports. And exports are also not, they're not unpromising. They are very good market option unless you have the whole supply chain figured out and you have a very reliable and trustable buyer from the other end. Otherwise, you can face some difficulties. So my suggestion would be to start trading in these aspects, and then you can also push your products along the line, because in all these supply chains, the one thing is very common, that is you have to provide them with a steady supply. Once you break their trust, once you break once you are not able to meet their expectations or demands, you will not be catered to very well by these people. So as mentioned over the screen, Europe has a very good market share. Interestingly, UK imports a good chunk of horticultural produce from India. And these includes crops like basils and lettuces and other leafy vegetables because these are harsher climates and not very comfortable for leafy vegetables. So most of these vegetables are being imported, including from India. Coming on to Northern America, in North America, India has an edge that they provide very good. So they are one of the largest exporters of horticultural and agricultural equipment to North American countries. Hence, they are able to make the supply chains available and they are able to reach those markets. Most of the spices or the processed products are actually are actually being supplied to North American regions. Coming on to Middle East and even South logistics or the transportation is very easy, right? And probably if you have an Indian partner there, you can easily set up a reliable or trustable supply chain. So I said that UAE's fresh vegetable import has reached 1.5 billion in 2022. So it's ever increasing and it will increase. So the top three markets that you can cater to, top 3 or 4 markets that you can cater to in Middle East includes UAE, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Qatar. Coming on to how we can help you or we can support you in your journey is, as mentioned, we have worked across 13 states and we already provide market access and market connects to our growers, to our clients. And we also are into this space, so we already have some supply chains built across several regions. And hence we are able to get the products consumed at a very competitive prices. So probably this is what we also can offer, and I'll surely be open for questions if you may have.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the presentation, Mr. Priyanshu. I'll take up now some questions.
Sure.
Okay. What current market trends suggest increasing demand for hydroponic products?
As in?
1 second, I'll repeat it. What current market trends suggest increasing demand for hydroponic products?
So basically, the viewer is trying to ask what exactly is in trend, what type of fruit or vegetable is in trend in hydroponics, right?
Yes, yes.
Understood. So I'd say that although leafy vegetables have a very competitive edge as a grower because you can always grow in off season months and you can achieve or fetch very good prices. But I'd say go for fruiting vegetables. The reason is fruiting vegetables does not face much fluctuation round the year and you'll get steady prices, and also it has an edge over shelf life. You can easily have a shelf life of more than 10 days in fruiting vegetables, and hence you can also store them if you are not able to sell it probably today or tomorrow, right? So go for fruiting vegetables if you want to.
Okay. And what strategies are in place to educate consumers about the benefits of hydroponically grown produce?
I think many policies or campaigns are in place. Even these e-commerce platforms run very good campaigns these days related to your health, related to the nutritional diet that you must take. And even the nutritionists that are there in the social media domain are also promoting several of the, ways by which you can actually improve your diet by having nutritional fruits and vegetables. And hydroponics again play a pivotal role here because again the value chain is very small. Supply chain is very small, and you will actually receive very good value. So I think industry is doing good in terms of campaigning or educating people related to hydroponically grown vegetables and fruits, and hence I see it as a positive trend.
Okay. Are there specific government incentives or subsidies available for hydroponic farmers in our region?
So in terms of
You
controlled
can,
environments, yes, there are several, and I would like to touch base on this point particularly is because people sometimes get skeptical about investing a lot of money in hydroponics or controlled environment agriculture. See, you have to understand one thing: hydroponics, CEA, or even precision farming is the future and will be there, right? It is not going anywhere. It's only a matter of time when farmers start adopting it on a mass level, because climatic patterns have actually disrupted most of the supply chains these days. You will find hailstorms, you will find heavy rainfalls anytime you may assume. So even government is well aware of these harsh calamities that actually hamper the whole food supply chain. So what they have come up with, there are several government schemes wherein you can apply subsidies. All of us are basically aware that how subsidies work and what subsidies are. So subsidies are provided to polyhouse or the covering structures, not particularly polyhouses. There could be several varieties of it. And central government provides 50% flat subsidies on those things. And although it is credit linked back-end subsidy, wherein you have to take a loan to avail these subsidies, so that government ensures that you are actually trying to build this up to actually grow something, right? And it does not go into waste. So this is one such thing. The other one thing that is very interesting aspect is that you must all search is Agri Infra Fund. Agri Infra Fund is one such scheme by Government of India, wherein you get a capital, collateral free capital, unsecured loan of around 2 cr for a tenure of 7 years, and the maximum rate of interest for that is only 6%. So this is one such scheme wherein you can actually avail very good capital benefit from Government of India. You can so that's a complete online procedure. You can although take assistance from several bank officials if you may, but this should be availed for investments in structures or let's say hydroponics, polyhouses, anything that you wish. For investment in these structures, you should have you should have a minimum group of 5 farmers associated with you, wherein because you can actually scale it up big, right? Government focuses that any project that is related to precision farming, control environment agriculture, hydroponics, things like that should be on a mass level, because so as to reduce the operational costs. So you can go with that. Also, apart from that, there are individual loans available via AIF on things like supply chain. If you're doing something in supply chain management, then also you can get. If you're doing something in warehousing, cold storage part, or improving the whole value chain, you can easily get those loans. So go apply for it, and the capital is cheaply available. Hello.
yeah, okay. And how can small scale farmers access and benefit from market support programs for hydroponics?
So as I said, if you are a small farmer, you can have 4 or 5 farmers jointly come up with you, and you can apply for Agri Infra Fund or NAIF. And via these things, you can actually apply for a good chunk of loan, wherein you can actually have a good scale hydroponic farm built up for you. This way, you would have the edge of scale, and you can actually compete better in the market. And this will also help you grow from 0 to 1 very easily.
Okay. And are there established channels or platforms connecting hydroponic farmers directly with consumers or retailers?
Yes, absolutely. E-commerce platforms are one of the best sources, but apart from that, also there are several B2B players that have come up who are targeting very niche markets. Like there are probably 7 to 8 or more than that very niche B2B players who are actually procuring only hydroponically grown vegetables, and then they are supplying that to very high or premium societies, right? So you can always research about them, reach out to them, and get the connections established.
Okay. And next question. Can you share success stories of hydroponic farmers who have thrived with market support initiatives?
Yes, so I'll share two, three examples. One such is when we established a farm in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the clients were very skeptical of how to go about it and where to grow. We actually assisted in them with the whole supply chain process. We actually, went on in fields with them, reached out to market players, and assisted them in their initial handholding days. This was how they were able to grasp a very good chunk of even B2C market. So this is one. The other tools are we established a farm in Odisha, and they are catering to very high premium societies, and we actually help them in even marketing campaigns and many other stuff. And they are still running beautifully. The farm is running beautifully. They are even thinking of expansion. Similar is the case with the farms in Jammu and even Guwahati. So I think there are several success stories, and if done right, hydroponics can actually turn on the future.
Okay. Next question is, yeah, what challenges do hydroponic farmers commonly face in terms of market access, and how are these addressed?
So see, the biggest concern is hydroponics must never be observed as an FD. Many of the times I have seen the sentiment wherein people, assume that this is just completely automated. I would have to put in the initial money and I will start getting returns. See, it is just like another business, right? You have to put in some initial time, some initial resources, and some initial effort, right? Then only you can probably get hold of the market. You can understand ins and outs of your businesses, and you can actually run it beautifully. People who have invested some of their time in initial days are actually able to sustain it. I understand that hydroponics poses some challenges because the market has projected it as it is very easy thing, or probably it is just like an FD, right? It is not. It is just another business. It could give you returns very beautifully and very good returns just like another business, but it also requires some effort. So you should not be falling behind in putting in initial efforts and taking hold of your business, your factory, so that you can actually make it sustainable.
Okay. And are there certifications or labeling programs that help hydroponic products stand out in the market?
Currently, they are not very prevalent. Although there are several certifications and private certifications that have come up related to organic products in India, who are also somewhat trying to certify organically grown vegetables, but there is no concrete or very reliable one till now in the Indian market.
Okay. And how can farmers participate in collaborative marketing efforts to collectively promote hydroponic produce?
See, farmers always have an edge is because they already understand the value chain. The only thing where they lack is they only depend upon APMCs. See, if you are a traditional farmer and if you are a grower, you already know that APMCs are the worst possible solutions these days because they are very, very unreliable. Hydroponics, if you are doing next gen thing, do it as a next gen thing, right? Take hold of your market, take hold of your whole supply chain, and take hold of the prices. Why do you have to depend upon APMCs that will give you prices like nothing, right? So if you are a farmer, you already know where the margins lie and who is taking away your margins. So just cut them off the supply chain, go to the market directly. Probably make some farmer groups or producer companies, and then try reaching out to hotels and restaurants and cafes. So food business is ever consuming, ever booming, and it will always provide you an edge over other players.
Okay. And in regions with well-established markets for traditional agriculture, what strategies are effective in introducing and promoting hydroponic products?
Um, See, I think this is a marketing question completely, and it solely depends upon the target audience that you are trying to cater to. If it is exports, then you have to put in a lot of effort in identifying potential buyers who are also trusted and who are also who would also be able to provide you good volumes of orders. For that, you have to participate in trade fairs or expos, things like that, wherein you find those buyers. If it's related to D2C, then you have to play it in a D2C way. You have to reach out to them via social media platforms and make the pages or make the offerings very trendy. If it is B2B, then you have to be very thorough with what value are you providing to them, and how you would be able to solve their problems, because you have to be reliable and you have to be trustworthy for them. Then only probably you can have a very sustainable relationship with your buyers. So I think this is how you can segregate it.
Okay. So I think there are no more questions. Before we end, you would like to add anything for our viewers? Anything they need to take care before they jump into hydroponics?
I think it's just see, don't take superficial expectations and don't have any, because it's just another business and it can actually give you very good returns. We also have our own hydroponic farms and we understand, and hence I am able to say that if you treat it as a business, then treat it as a business, put in your effort, and it will give you results like other businesses also, or more than other businesses. So this is just this is just the only addition. Do your market research thoroughly, try to establish some connects and do some trade. When you do some trade initially also, you will be able to catch hold of the supply chain. You will be able to figure out where your challenges lie and how you would be able to cater to them, so that by when your produce comes up ready in your farm, you will be able to already rectify those challenges that you have already identified being in the market. So this is just the addition that I want to mention from my end. Other than that, we are always available. You can reach out to me at my contact number, that is 790-648-2293. 790-648-2293. And you can also reach out to us via our social media or our emails. We are very responsive. We would be able to cater you end to end. That is all from my end.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Priyanshu. So I don't see any more questions from our participants. So now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we'd like to thank you for a very detailed presentation and answering all the questions in depth. And we also like to thank all the participants for joining this meeting. The meeting will now be closed.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Thank you.